Hi, I'm Pat Overham with ICS, and on behalf of our entire team, I'd like to thank you for tuning in today. For the past 20 years, I've had the pleasure of working with K-12 school districts all over the state of Minnesota, and there's nothing more rewarding than seeing the potential for positive change transition into reality through facility projects. These projects are about way more than bricks and mortar. They're about positively impacting the people that are served by the facilities. Today, we wanted to focus on some projects that involve partnerships. Whether it's a school district partnering with a regional hospital to develop a community wellness center, or a school district that wants to partner with a business or industry partner to enhance career and technical education space or develop a fine arts auditorium, or a district that is partnering with a city or county to develop a joint use space. All of these types of projects have proven to be a very efficient use of taxpayer dollars. They've been a great way for these entities to share space and resources, and they've proven to be an incredible way to impact not only the students and the staff, but community members that utilize these facilities on a daily basis. And that's why we're excited about sharing some of these real-life partnership examples with you today.
Hello, my name's Natalie Hopp with ICS. I'm here to tell you about an interesting and impactful project in the Deer River community, and involved the Deer River School District at King Elementary more specifically. In fall of 2015, the community passed a $10.5 million referendum by almost 68%. How did they do that? They did this by leveraging partnerships in the community. In regards to that project, they built an early childhood area where they're impacting the youngest of students early on so that they integrate into the Deer River School District once they graduate from early childhood. They built a senior center, integrating the older population into that community and working with the students. You'll hear more about that later. A community cafe where they're serving people who are in need of good nutritious meals during the week, kind of like a Meals on Wheels per se. A boys and girls club where they can bring students after school as an option for parents and students to utilize the gym in the school district. So the community really came together in passing this referendum to serve the whole community, serve all ages, from the youngest to the oldest of participants in the community. They really did a nice job here. You should check it out.
Many schools will sometimes adopt the term community school or represent themselves as a community school, and that's a little bit different than really, kind of going through the key elements of becoming a full service community school. And I think the thing that really I think summarizes best what the Deer River version of a full service community school was a resolution that the school board passed. And some of the highlights I think that make it noteworthy are primarily the foundation of is that every child should be able to grow up and have the opportunity to achieve his or her dreams and contribute to the well-being of society. And in a very diverse and large school district, large as far as area that it covers, school district, that's a really important core value for this community to have, is that the opportunity is there for everybody, no matter what part of the district or what their background is. And a community school is defined as a place with a set of strategic partnerships, and I think that's really critical here. It's very well connected to the story about the King Facilities Improvement Project. Some of the unique things that are in a full service community school are comprehensive programs and services that deal with all the aspects of life that aren't traditionally tackled by the school, that are important because when the students come to school, they are carrying with them their whole life and all the things that are going on in their life. And rather than work around those, the full service community school deals directly with those and provides help with housing, medical and dental care, food security. They deal with a lot of mental health, processing the trauma and violence that some kids are exposed to, and just tries to make sure that kids can reach their full potential.
And Jen Steffen is the principal at King Elementary, where all these wonderful things are taking place. Jen, can you talk about the services there and what impact that you believe it has on the students?
Absolutely. So when we started work on the full service community schools model, it was really out of a need to support families with food access and also access to healthcare. And it's really grown over the years that we've been working to implement this model. We have connections and relationships built in our community. And so when I think of how seamlessly we were able to roll out our food service program during distance learning, and we watched other school districts have a challenging go of that because it was a huge process. But because of the relationships we had in place and that kind of that system in place, we were able to reach out and have our meal program going within a couple of days.
I've always been a big believer in kind of looking for opportunity to work in a district that was all in on full service community schools. And so I did find out a lot about what was happening in Deer River, and I became aware kind of during the interview process that they had been awarded a federal grant to support the full service community schools. So that's a huge expansion of staff and resources to help put this together. But a bigger community only happens when there's bridging activities. And that's a very difficult thing to create those bridging opportunities because of lack of trust, lack of resources, lack of communication. And the public schools are really one of those trusted entities that can pulling together those bridging opportunities.
The work is really, it's going outside of the school community, and it's impacting the Deer River community, at large, which is, that's pretty amazing for this little rural elementary school that, community members who don't have a child in the school district are also benefiting, I guess, from the work. So, our community knows a lot about the needs of our kids. And so we have a lot of different organizations and churches who will, I don't think there's a week that goes by that somebody doesn't donate school supplies for our children, clothing. There was just a huge stack of blankets in the office for our full service community schools manager to deliver. As we hear of a need in the community, we have partners which have really grown over the last 5 years, and we're able to reach out to our partners to fill a need. So over the last couple of years in our second conference room, so we call it our flex room, which is one of our new spaces. It's a beautiful conference room space. Sometimes we hold meetings with parents in there, we hold staff meetings in there, and sometimes it is a full-fledged dental clinic. And I've been in there, and there have been children getting their teeth cleaned. And through that process, then we'll get referrals for more serious dental issues. And, there's a huge correlation between dental work and, the dental needs and success in school. So we're trying to address, eyeglasses. That's a huge issue. I was a first grade teacher at King for many years. And if you have a child that doesn't have access to a vision appointment and then glasses, you're trying to teach them how to read, and obviously a lot of challenges. So we definitely are trying to get those clinics here, but we also will take children out for vision and dental and medical appointments. I
know this summer when I came on board, we were planning for improvements at Deer River High School, which is also a site where we'll be able to expand our reach of the full service community school. It started out primarily focused on the needs of the younger kids, but now it can kind of radiate out to the entire district and to both sites. So I do know that as we examined the facilities improvement concept at the high school, I kept hearing over and over again how the community responded to the facilities needs at King, and the effort to bring everybody on board was very successful. So we want to try to replicate that moving forward with what we do at the high school. So one of the aspects of the improvements at King was creating better spaces for wraparound childcare. The morning, the end of the day, all those times where the community, people are able to work and do other activities by having quality childcare, and that it works through a partnership with the Boys and Girls Club of Leech Lake. And that's a partnership that is, renewed again for another couple of years. And also, I know that you take a community-wide approach, and you talk about a community school. You want it to be across, all generations and all age groups. And so, my understanding was there was a lot of support from seniors in the community to make the facilities improvements. They knew it was good for the district, and they also included a space for seniors. There was a big boost from the seniors. They've really enjoyed not only using their senior space, but as Jen said, be a part of meals, be a part of volunteering and things like that. So, full service community school sometimes gets narrowed down because of the limited resources, but the concept is to span all generations and the full breadth of the community. And with the extra resources that we have now and the improved facilities at King and potentially the improved facilities at the high school, it's really going to be more and more opportunity for intergenerational experiences that, are at the heart of, a community. And
facilities wise, where our Boys and Girls Club room is, with the art and science room next to it, and the cafeteria, it works great for our regular school year Boys and Girls Club programming. It's right next to the food pantry. I mean, so the design of that, now that we're living it, works really, really well. We have our kindergarten hallway, which flows into our early childhood hallway. And through a partnership with Leech Lake Head Start and Invest Early, we have services for infants and toddlers. And then we also have 3-year-old and 4-year-old classrooms. So that's all right on site here. So many of our children come and many of our teachers access the childcare, which is early childhood programming, which is wonderful. So many of our teachers have babies or infants, and they're able to bring them to King School for childcare. And then, they go into the early childhood 3- and 4-year-old program, and then right into the kindergarten hallway.
How well the design of the King Elementary School, and that within that footprint, how well those pieces function together, supporting the full community. And I would say one of the things that's really apparent when you come in as a new person, you see that the entire campus has been organized in a way that the outdoor, playground facilities, align with the spaces inside, so easy access to get in there, and they're wonderful facilities. And even everything like parking lots and traffic flow for safety and how people route themselves around the campus to obtain these services is very convenient. And there's also a lot of open space still at that campus that, like right now when we're emphasizing getting outside, it's great to get out on the playgrounds or just out into the woods and things like that, to give kids a break during the day. So the facilities improvements at King weren't just about the classroom space only. As Jen said, it's all those other services that support the full service community school model, and it extends across that entire campus to be very functional and thinks about the entire 24/7 day of what we're doing for the district, and not just the bell to bell of the school day.
I'm Todd Rapp, CEO of Rapp Strategies, a communication firm headquartered in Minneapolis. We're a proud partner of ICS. We've worked with them on dozens of referenda around the state, and we've worked for literally 50 school districts on either operating or building referenda. Our job is to help them think through the strategic communications. How do you reach your communities and engage people in a long-term vision? The first superintendent I ever worked with looked at me and said, "Todd, I just feel like we're going from referendum to referendum." And my response to him was that, don't forget that a referendum is really an outcome. It's a benchmark. It's how you demonstrate whether or not the community truly understands the direction the school district is going to go. When a school district steps forward to partner with the cities and the counties and the hospitals and other community leaders, what they're really doing is making a commitment not just to today, it's to the next 50 years. And there's some real advantages if you think about how you want to engage your community to doing it. First of all, it brings on a variety of new advocates who will step forward and communicate the vision. Secondly, it creates a different story, a story that goes beyond simply what's going to happen in pre-K through 12 education, but how the entire community and its residents from age 1 to age 90 are going to engage with the school district. Long after I'm gone, or your current superintendent or school board no longer runs for re-election, you've left an asset for the community. Because when you invest in your schools, you're investing in 50 years and several generations of students and staff. That's one of the reasons why community partnerships are so valuable, because of the investment you're making in the direction that your community is going, not just where they are today.
So thanks a lot for tuning in today. Our hope is that some of these real-life examples might spark some thought as to how a partnership might be the right solution for your facility needs. It can be difficult and challenging to try to develop these partnerships, but the outcomes are most certainly worth the work, and ICS is here to help, so feel free to give us a call. It's all about building strong connections.